911, what's the location of your emergency?
That's a good question. I'm lost, and I'm in where there's snow.
I praise the Sheriff's Office and the search and rescue team for a really top-notch job in rescuing me.
I can't thank them enough.
You know, very professional, very courteous.
I think they did a great job. I was really lucky.
I am extremely grateful. I mean, you saved my life.
Before we did our climb on Thursday of Hood, we wanted to warm our legs up a little bit, so we'd go for a hike. So we decided to just do the Ramona Falls hike on that Tuesday. Probably got to the trailhead probably around 9 a.m., I'm going to guess. And yeah, it took like maybe 2 hours to get up to the falls, maybe an hour and a half. We instead of going back to the parking lot, we did decide to go up the Timberline Trail. There was a series of 3 washouts, and the first 2 weren't that bad. And when I got to the top of the washouts and I started my descent, my feet gave way on the the sandy, loose soil, and I proceeded to fall on my rear, luckily, and started to slide. The angle was pretty steep, but yeah, a long ways down. But anyway, like I said, I was sliding down. And trying to use my feet and my hands and any other way to stop my descent. Luckily, my left foot hit a rock that was sticking out of the side of the mountain. It took Tony about 2 hours to get back down to the parking lot. Once they arrived, they set up basically a safety line first for me. Once the rescue team was able to get the safety line on me, then they were able to set up another line to rappel down. I think I would say the whole process took maybe about a half hour. They did an incredible job, extremely professional. They asked me, they always were making sure I was okay and comfortable, if my legs were tired or needed any other kind of medical assistance. They just basically made the whole process a lot easier. I mean, I can't thank them enough. And I obviously have a newfound respect for everyone in the rescue industry out there. Obviously the Sheriff's Department, the Fire and Rescue, and AMR, and the Portland Mountain Rescue, and Mountain Wave. I mean, the time and effort and resources that you guys put into to helping people that get in trouble is certainly something to be praised. And I certainly appreciated it. And like I said, I can't thank them enough.
I left a very detailed map with my brother. I plotted it all out on the mapping software. I had all the coordinates and everything. So I figured I was pretty prepared. I went there after work, so I thought, well, I'll just hike into the South Waldo shelter and spend the night so I can start out early in the morning. So I got up early the next morning and started my bushwhack, if you will. And I was going to follow this creek bed, this drainage down there, and it was a lot harder than I thought. Probably within the next 45 minutes of walking the direction that my compass told me to, there was the lake, just like it's supposed to be. And I must have been no more than 200 yards away from where our primitive campsite was, and I stepped up on this big old down tree, and I don't really remember exactly what happened. Either the edge of it broke off, I think, and I fell straight down, and with the weight of my pack kind of leaning towards my left leg, and I heard a pop, and I had, excruciating pain. Foot was going way farther to the left than it should, and I thought, this is a problem. This isn't going to be fixed right away. Let's see if this amateur radio really works. I prayed that it would. It was a nice sunny day in July. I thought, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Who in the heck is going to be sitting around listening to their radio? And fortunately for me, somebody answered right back, and he got right on there and called the sheriff's office. I was able to give him my GPS coordinates. So I used that closed foam mattress. I skewered a little hole in the end of it, and I put part of it behind my head and rolled it out and just sat there at the pole and made a shade. It worked really well, and I could move the shade as the sun moved. Blow my whistle periodically, and then I did hear my brothers come along, and they had no idea anything had happened to me. So that was helpful when they got there, and then I told them that the SAR team was on their way, and the SAR team was actually not too far behind them. But they got in there not too long after my brothers did, and they had a paramedic and a ER nurse with them. So they got me hooked up right up to an IV, did the assessment. Helicopter came in, the guy hoisted down, switched the Stokes, got me all packaged up, took me to the landing area, and then they hoisted me up right about, I'd say about 9:30 at night. I praised the sheriff's office and the search and rescue team for a really, really top-notch job in rescuing me. Paramedic from the 1082nd rode with me clear to the hospital in the ambulance, and the care was top-notch. I mean, it was absolutely the best care that you could possibly hope for.
Got my gear together. I had 4 quarts of water. I'd been thinking of taking 3, but my wife said, no, you should take extra if you need it, So basically the hike up until about noon was perfect. It was exactly how I planned it. Everything was going exactly to plan. So I stopped for lunch. It's about 12 o'clock. Now this is where the day starts falling apart. If I had stuck to my plan and at lunchtime turned around, had maybe a 2-hour hike out at most, that would have been a 6-hour hike, and it would have been perfect. It's about 4 o'clock, and I told my wife that's the absolute latest. So I take out my cell phone, and I can just barely get enough reception, and I get through to her. So she calls 911, gets routed to Clackamas County Sheriff's Search and Rescue. And so I finally found a spot on the ridge where I could get cell phone again. And I call, and that's when my wife informed me that she'd made contact with the deputy, Myers, and he'd said, tell him to stay put, we'll come and find him. And I think by 10 o'clock, I can tell my thinking is getting kind of goofy. I'd feel my body being dry, and I think, I need to get a drink of water. I'd turn to my pack to get a drink and think, but you don't have any water. And that would happen like about every 20 seconds, hour after hour after hour. And it was horrible torture. It's extreme effort just to blow my whistle now. I mean, I have to very consciously try to take a deep enough breath that I can even blow the whistle. He gets a radio call just as I'm about ready to hang up, he gets a radio call from one of the teams. We thought we heard him. Did he just blow his whistle? And he asked me, I said, yeah, just before I called you, I was doing my whistle blast. Well, have him do it again. So I do it, we hear him, we hear him. I can't even imagine these people did this for me. This is insane to do that. Everybody involved was so professional. It was, Deputy Myers was just the epitome of professionalism under tough circumstances. And one thing he said that I held on to through that night was, my team is going to be there. These guys are going to be there for you. They have no quit in them. They are going to be there. I am extremely grateful. I mean, you saved my life. I mean, I'm deeply appreciative of the sacrifice that each one of those people, and not just the people that were on the trail, not just the guys that led me out of there, but there were 20 people up there just in case they were needed.